episode 30 of the Calon Yarns podcast. My name is Lynn and I'm coming to you from Cardiff in Wales in the UK, and this is a knitting, crochet, sometimes spinning, sometimes dyeing, but always fibre-based podcast. We follow the usual format of finished objects and works in progress. I have a little bit of spinning to show you today, a little bit of a crochet blanket that I'm coming back to after quite some time. So I have some bits and bobs to show you. If you are a new viewer, thank you so much for dropping by. I'm glad you found us. And if you are a returning viewer and a regular viewer, as always, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate everyone giving me some of your time today. I know you're all busy. I know you've all got a lot of stuff to do, so I really do appreciate you tuning in to me blathering on about what I have been up to in my knitty projects and general life chit-chat at the end. I think today is probably going to be quite a short episode. I explained last week how my head was all over the place and how work was really busy, and that is the same this week. It seems to have taken control over my life, that whole work-life balance thing. Yeah, the work-life balance thing isn't really working at the moment, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll get over this crazy hump of trying to reorganize how we teach in the autumn, and yeah, we'll be fine. We shall see. So I have been taking some solace in my knitting, but not so much at the moment, I'm afraid. But I have been doing some spinning, and over the last couple of weeks I've really found that very therapeutic. I'm a real beginner spinner, as I keep saying, and that has given me a real space to think and consider all the things that are going on in the world and how I can do better at dealing with things, helping the current situation with the Black Lives Matter, and trying to push those ideas forward, especially being an educator, especially being in a university, finding ways where we can empower our students and do better as a curriculum and as a process. So yes, that's where my brain has been for these last couple of weeks, but I've started to get back on track, especially with my spinning, I think. So maybe that's where I will start today, or actually I will tell you what I'm wearing. So this is my Embruns cardigan. I can't remember who the designer is, but I will pop it there. And I did this out of some old Serdar recycled cotton. I think it was called Simply Recycled, and it's made out of recycled cotton. I know, who knew? But made out of, I think it's like recycled t-shirt cotton. So it's really soft, and the more you wash it and the more you wear it, the softer it becomes. So in this sort of climate where today it's really quite muggy, but it's quite windy, so popping out to the shop later I will need this cardigan, and it's really nice. I like the shape of it. I will see if I can stand up for you. It sort of tips forwards at the front, so it's got a longer back, and it kind of has this triangle shape here, so it's a nice piece to wear. It's all knitted in one, she says. Yeah, it was all knitted in one. I think I must have done it a couple of years ago now, and I don't ever knit pieces things, so it must have been all in one. Yeah, but I can't remember how. See, that's it. It goes like that, doesn't it? Once you want to the next project, it's gone. But yes, it's a really nice shaped cardigan. I don't often wear cardigans that have buttons up the top, up the front, so it's a nice little throw on. So yeah, so that is that. As I was saying, spinning. So these are my two attempts. I think I've got the hang of it in some way, shape or form at the moment. So this is a 2-ply, and the light is really going to blow it out, but we should be able to find it now in a sec. Yes, there we go. So this is a 2-ply. So this was my trying to spin thin experiment, see how thin I could go, and I plied these two together, and it is a combination of merino, silk and Blueface Leicester, I believe. And it's got this very lovely watery waterfall kind of bluey shades, bluey teal, you see? So I'm generally a blue person. I've entered my teal phase, and this is sort of a combination of the both. So a bluey, tealy grey sort of thing. How it was spun, I have no idea. It might be a semi-worsted, it might be a semi-woolen, I really don't know. This was just an experiment to get me to spin as thin as I could. So I've got another, this is 75 grams, so I've got another 100 grams I think of fibre in my bag, so I will try and take some time to complete that one, and then hopefully I'll be able to do something with it. That's the thing, isn't it? I think a lot of spinners have left me comments here as well saying, yeah, I spin lots of bits and bobs, but I never know what to do with it. So I'm hoping that with that essentially 175 grams, or maybe I'm sure I bought 200 grams. Why would I buy 175 grams? So I think I might be able to eke out 200 grams. So I'm not sure what the wraps per inch and stuff are yet. So that is what I will find out and see what I can create with that. But it really is lovely and soft and squishy. And then this other one I have is sort of a grey marley effect. And that one is a single ply, so not very strong. But again, it was an experiment of trying to make it as thin as I could. And that one I think is a Polwarth, I think it was. It might even have been a Polwarth and Blueface Leicester, I'm not sure. But that's the thing, I read in these books, you must keep track of what you do, what you create. So I've read it. Maybe one day I will actually do that. Get another book. I'm pretty good with my knitting notes in my little notebook, but spinning notes, because I don't know what I'm doing, I just do it and hope for the best, really. So I'm so pleased that that has come out and looks like it might be usable. It's good to keep track, isn't it? Because when I first started, it was so massive and slubby and had no control at all. So it's quite nice that I can see that I can actually create things that are a little bit more delicate. What I do in the future, I do not know. But yes, I have an Ashford Kiwi 3, which if you are considering getting into spinning is a very, very good entry-level wheel. It's, I think it was around £300 maybe, £350, which is absolutely an investment. But a lot of those wheels are a lot more than that. So yeah, as an entry-level wheel that isn't basic by any means, it's a fantastic wheel and it's very compact. The treadles, it's a double treadle, and they kind of flip up so I can tuck it behind the chair in my bedroom. Because that's the other thing, is where you store them. They can be quite big and cumbersome, can't they? But it's a great wheel, and it means that it fits behind the seat of the car, so if I'm going up to Carol's or to a spin club or whatever, I've never been to one, but if I ever wanted to go to a spin club, I would be ready. But it's easy enough to kind of pack up in the car. So yes, that's sort of my spinning section. Usually the spinning comes at the end, but this week, because it's something that I have actually finished, I thought I would pop that in the beginning there. And I think there are more spinners being created, aren't there? Especially during lockdown, I think people have really started to explore hobbies that they might not have had the time or the headspace to previously. So that's really nice to see that there's a lot more spinning going on out there. So yeah, I'm learning a lot on tutorials, YouTube tutorials, things like that. So it's been a nice time to kind of sit and contemplate. So that is that. What else? So my Canerva socks, I think I got that really muddled up last week. My Canerva socks, I have got back to them. My little cable needle, this is the bane of my life, it keeps falling down the side of the sofa, but I cannot for the life of me do the pinch and cable thing. It's too terrifying. I will always drop things. So I have made a little bit of progress here on this. A lovely long cuff. I love a long cuff, a long uneven cuff, as in, you know, it's not just 2 by 2. There's a bit more going on, and this nice cable pattern now is coming down the sock. So that's a slow and steady. It is a Rachel Coopy pattern, and this yarn is in fact a Coop Knits yarn. She does her sock yarns in 50-gram skeins. So yeah, this is 50 grams. And then I know that I will have to, add some blue to the toe to be able to complete like this one. I can get so far, I can do the heel, I can get all the way there, halfway across the foot, and then I have to convert to this very, very contrast colour. But that's okay, because it'll be in my shoe, so nobody will see it anyway. Yes, but it is a following the pattern one. You know, there's a lot of to in and fro in with the cabley bits and pieces, so have to keep an eye on that one. So that's not one for a Netflix documentary or box set. It has to be a sitting down concentrating one, and there isn't much time for that at the moment. I'm aware my voice is very croaky today. I've been on some Zoom calls already this morning. It is Saturday the 20th today, and we had an open day at the university this morning, so I've been chatting to lots of prospective students, so excuse me if I'm a bit dry. And of course I didn't bring myself a cup of tea, I didn't bring myself any water. Very foolish. I just wanted to get this done, and then the plan is to have a little wander outside, because it's a gloriously sunny day, and see if there's any takeaway coffee shops open. I haven't had a proper coffee for ages, so I'm thinking if I get this sorted and uploaded, I might have a little wander up the park. There's like a little booth in the park. We shall see, because we in Wales are still on lockdown here. Nothing has really been relaxed. I think there's going to be a bit of a relaxation of rules on Monday, but not yet. So yes, that's going to be my little treat for the end of the day, see if I can persuade my daughter to come out with me. So that is that. I had this through the post today. My Pom Pom magazine subscription. I shan't open it because I know I don't want to give any spoilers away. Lots of summer tops in there, summer shapes it is called, and you can see that the picture on the front is rather splendid. But is there anything in there that I would knit this time? There's some crochet patterns in there as well this month, not this month, this quarter. Do you know what? I don't know. How are you doing with Pom Pom magazine? Are any of you subscription holders? I don't know if I will renew next year or following on from this. This is my last one of last year's subscription. And I really, really love the pictures. I love the stories, but I haven't actually knitted very much from them. I think maybe in the whole year I might have knitted 2, or at least started 2 projects. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. They are... I think I get so much inspiration from all the patterns that are on Ravelry, and I for one, I have to say, I love the new Ravelry shenanigans. I know some people don't like it, but yeah, I quite like it. I think it's quite new and fresh. But yes, I get a lot of inspiration from Ravelry when I go on the patterns, you know, when it says hot right now, and you can kind of investigate designers that way, and then just put in something random so you can find things that you don't find very often. I like kind of doing a little bit of Sherlock Holmesing around the Ravelry sites to find some patterns that I might not have seen before, and some designers that I might not have seen before. So yeah, I'm not sure about Pom Pom magazine. Maybe I'll give it a break for a quarter or so, and then get back into it next year. Not sure. Tell me your thoughts. Have you knitted a lot from the Pom Pom magazines? Are you subscribers? Do you use them a lot? I'd be interested to know. Because it's no good at just sitting on the shelf, is it, and not being used. I shall have to consider the pennies, I think. So what is next on my cards? Well, I have made some progress with my Botanical Gardens sweater. This is a pattern by Inga Semmingsen, and I am doing it out of undyed yarn and a gradient yarn. Have I got the ball band there? A gradient yarn from Moonlight Yarns. I'm going to show you the ball band, even though I don't actually think they're trading anymore, which is really sad. So yeah, this is, there we go, this is Moonlight, as you can see, Moonlight Yarns. They did have an Etsy shop. I got this at Wonderful Wonderwool Wales a long time ago, but yeah, I don't know that they're trading anymore. I haven't been able to find them. Let me just find the... So this, I've got all this left. Look how much is left. That's like a proper, still squishy ball. So this gorgeous tealy colour with a little bit of sparkle in there. But it is a gradient, and it's all curly like that because it was a sock blank, which, you know, you kind of open out. So there's a dash of sparkle in there, which is really effective actually. It's not too overpowering. Excuse me. So as you can see, this is the progress I've made. So you can really see the camera's blowing it out a little bit there, but there's a slight amount of teal up here in the yoke. It looks very white, but it's not that white, I can assure you. And then, oh, if I bring it closer to me, you can kind of see it better there. See the teal up here, and then it goes into that darker phase, which is absolutely gorgeous. And then of course my quandary was, and if you've been here for a while you will be sick of me talking about this, but there's a little bit of pattern on either arm. So because I'm using a gradient yarn, that would mean that one would be darker than the other. So thank you for all your suggestions. So what I did was, and I have picked up for the sleeves to get past this bit, oh, I can't hold it. I don't know if you can see even. Oh, yeah, so what I did was it's a 5-row repeat, this one. So I did 3 rows, then went to the other side, cut the yarn, went to the other side, and then came back and did 2 rows and then went to the other side. So that it's a pretty good match for the body. I really don't think that you can see any difference in the colour tone there. I mean, to be honest, you can't see anything in the colour tone there. But yeah, there isn't much difference at all between the arm and the body colour. Can you see now maybe? So I am very happy with that. Yeah, you really can't see that it's a different section of the gradient. So phew. So I've done both the arms. I've done that little bit on both of the arms. And then I'm going to carry on working down the body. I've just changed to the smaller needle, which is how I could do the sleeves, because I didn't need the main body needle to carry on with the sleeves. So I'm just starting on the rib as I go down. I'm going to make it slightly cropped, but it's a twisted rib. So it's just that, you know, getting through the back loop of the knit stitch just takes a little bit longer, doesn't it? A little bit more focus maybe. So yes, I'm so glad that the sleeves have worked out okay. It took me a while to kind of pick them back up and put the needle back on and to actually face up to it, face up to the pending disaster. But it was okay. It's fine. It doesn't look like it's an odd mismatch of colours, so I'm very happy about that. So I can carry on with that ribbing now and then get back to those sleeves and hopefully have it finished. I was just about to say in a couple of weeks, so I'm not going to say that. Hopefully have it finished. End of sentence. I'm not putting a time frame on it because we know how that goes, don't we? So that's that one. That's the Botanical Garden sweater. And I just wanted to show you again my blanket from last week. I've done all the ends. I was a little bit of, what's it called? A wash with ends last week. So this is my circles in the square blanket, and I have done all my ends and I'm so thrilled with it. Scrappy sock yarns in the circly bits and a solid grey from 5 Moon yarns to go around the edges. So I have blocked it, and thanks for your advice everyone on how to block it. Luckily it was a really warm day, so I just placed it on the floor outside and it dried in no time because the flagstones were heated up anyway, so it sort of had heat from both sides. Obviously I swept my flagstones first before placing this on the floor. But yes, it is done. It's got I was considering going around the edge to kind of give it an edging, because it's got a little bit of a wobbly edge to it, rather like me really. But I quite like that. I don't mind at all, and it's not going to be flat on a bed. It's always going to either be folded or wrapped around in a cozy fashion. So I'm not too worried, but I am really pleased to get that done. And as I said last week, I did an episode a few episodes ago now about all my different blanket projects that were unfinished, that I trawled. I had a little mini treasure hunt in my house. I'll put the little link up here so you can see that episode if you wish. But as part of that treasure hunt, this was another blanket that I uncovered, and it is the Hydrangea pattern by Attic 24. It's a free pattern, and I've picked this one back up and I'm starting to carry on through that one. So I'm really having a sense of finishing stuff. I've had a lovely couple of messages from people saying, oh, you've put a fire up my backside to get finished on different blankets, but I have also put that fire under my backside too. So thank you for all those that have messaged me saying, oh, I've got this blanket out and I've started to do this one, I've finished this one. I've seen some lovely completed blankets, so well done everyone. So this is going to be my next phase, and this is yarn that was dyed by me. It's a DK weight yarn. It is a Polworth, and I kind of chose a few different colours and then just did some speckly ones and some solids, so that I could just combine them all together. And yeah, and then I've got some grey, just some plain grey to go around the edging. On a theme, huh? Hey ho. And Attic 24 always does this thing with her pegs. Have you seen this? I'm sure you have. Because when you're trying to do different colours, it's fine to kind of put the balls in different positions, then you forget what colours they are and then you have to move them around and all that stuff. So she does, and I have copied, these little pegs with a little bit of the yarn around the end. Oh my gosh, the light in this room is really poor at the moment, so I do apologise. Let me get a different one. Oops. Here we go, see if we can get this one. So can you see these little pegs that have the name of the colour on them and then just a little dash of the yarn at the edge there, so that you can arrange your stripes. What I do is I tend to arrange my stripes, and then at least you can kind of pop them back and forth, etc, etc. And then I take a photo of it so that I've got that on my phone. I can see what's coming next. Because if you use the balls to kind of give yourself a colour palette, which is great, but then you have to kind of write the names down, or then you pick up a ball to use and you can't remember what colour's supposed to come next. So yeah, I find that really helpful. It certainly isn't my idea. Put it on some little pegs, and then I arrange them and then take a picture, so I know that my next phase of colour change is all planned out. Because otherwise sometimes if you do it by, I'll just choose whatever comes next or whatever looks next to it, you start to get more of a pattern, because you definitely like certain colours next door to each other, if you know what I mean. So it's quite nice to force yourself to be a little bit more ruthless in the way that you change the colours. Yeah, so that will start happening now from this week, I think. I did talk about another cast on last week, but that yarn has gone back in my stash, I'm afraid. It was a baby camel in silk, but yeah, I think I would be very foolish to start something else. I think it would get very much waylaid, and then it would make me sad in my heart, and so I wouldn't have any kind of completion vibes. So yeah, I will hang off on casting something new, I think, until I am at least halfway down the sleeves. One sleeve, the second sleeve, yeah. We'll see. We'll see how much of a treat I need over the next couple of weeks. And so yeah, that is about it. A little bit of a check-in and an update on what I'm making and what I'm up to. Apologies that there is no groundbreaking information or patterns, although I have seen a couple in Ravelry this morning. We'll see. We'll talk about them more next week maybe. So yeah, that is it for the knitty content there. So if you are leaving us at that point, thank you very, very much for a quick check-in, and I will catch up with you next week. If you are hanging around, how are you guys doing? How's your week been? Okay, I hope you've had a bit more time to knit and crochet. Loads of people are sewing as well at the moment, aren't they? That's one skill. I say one. Yeah, that's one skill I don't have. I have all the other skills, but that one, no. That is another skill I don't have. I do have a sewing machine. I think you could do with a service probably. My daughter and I have been talking about trying to make some masks ready. I think that's going to be the plan, isn't it, as we move forwards, that we have to wear masks in places where you cannot socially distant. And I wonder if we'll have to do that back at university actually, when we start teaching, whether we'll have to wear masks or the clear face visors things, you know what I mean. So we were going to make, we've got loads of clothes that we were kind of chucking away, so we thought, well, we'd make some masks out of those, but neither of us have taken the plunge and got the sewing machine down from upstairs, because it's a long way, you know, to start that journey. But that'll be great. I think that'll be a nice little project to do. I've got lots of elastic and pipe cleaners if we need them for the nose. Yes, so what was I saying? What was I even saying? Yes, a lot of people are sewing at the moment. I see some wonderful things being made on lots of different podcasts, so that is very lovely. The Through the Back Loop, Peggy from Through the Back Loop, I don't know if you watch her, but yeah, she creates some amazing clothes. A proper old seamstress there. It's really lovely stuff, so check her out. She knits and crochets, but she often has a little sewing segment which I watch with joy, but a vague aspiration. Never, ever, ever. I like the flexibility of knitting, the fact that you can kind of judge and fudge. As she said, I think in her last episode, yeah, you have to be very precise in sewing, and that's very true. So what else? No, that's it really. Work, as I said, is very, very busy, trying to organise everything. I think everybody's so desperate to try and get some sense of a summer holiday that they are working like the clappers to try and get everything done, so we might be able to have a little bit of time off in August before we all regroup again in September. Kids are fine, husband is fine, we are ticking along quite nicely, thank goodness, and I am very grateful for that. Yeah, lockdown wise, as I say, nothing has changed really. Maybe some changes next week, but still slowly working our way through. What is great though is that in Wales the R rate, the infection rate, how many people you pass it on to, is really quite low, so that is great. And I just hope that as the shops open, I think the shops are starting to open on Monday, that we don't start to see an increase in the infection rates, but we can but hope and be sensible, I think. So I am not going to bore you anymore with my drivel, but I hope you are keeping well. I really do appreciate you spending some time with me, and for all of those of you that sent me some lovely messages last week, that was really kind of you, and yes, I appreciate each and every one. So yes, take care of yourselves, take some joy in your projects, and I will catch up with you next week. Hwyl fawr, bye.